How long have you been looking for this pair of socks? I'm sorry, why did it sound like a pair of socks? She's looking for her pair of socks. Hello and welcome to another Pillars of Eternity video, and we got ourselves our own stronghold. I am very happy about that. So we're going to be like building stuff and repairing stuff and getting people to come in and stopping people from coming in. But first we need to go to Defiance Bay, and the bridge is out. It's broken. So we're going to find a way to Defiance Bay. I'm not sure exactly how we're getting there, but we'll figure something out. Did say something about we can't travel there until we get to the Barbican, but I'm not sure what that means. So, I guess I'm going back to... Wait. I mean, is there a way? I actually didn't know the map moved. This is new. I'm not sure what to do. No, I'm not entirely sure. I head this way. I don't know, maybe heading this direction might lead me to a different... I know it said we'll have to go around the long way, so... So where is the long way? Would be this way. So yeah, back to Caed. We'll go back here. Bright Hollow Restoration. Well, we could rest here. Mind you. No, well, we could rest here, yeah. And then figure out. Ah, we were supposed to leave from there. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So we're gonna leave from there. Okay, but let's rest in our newly... Does that mean this turns into like a really nice garden? Or maze? Okay, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be. Hold on. I thought that was where we rested. I'm guessing it's up high. Oh wait, maybe hold on. Yeah. I thought that, yeah, it says Restoring Bright Hollow will allow you to rest there. Other upgrades can unlock... Hold on a minute. Because it didn't look upgraded when I went in there. Okay, it still doesn't look upgraded, so maybe it's upstairs. Oh, okay. Downstairs has some... Oh, it's actually kind of cute. Can I, like, check every room? I don't know. Does everyone get their own room? Can I leave stuff here? How many companions did we get? Okay, this is cool. Take it this is my room. The window of the other side of the curtain looks down on a tangled mess of... No bonus. Not yet. Fair enough. I was kind of hoping we'd get a bonus, like a, I don't know, just a slight one, you know? Sleeping in a bed bonus. You wouldn't think upstairs is so lovely when you come into here. So, what then should we do next? All the cheap ones first. Because we've only got 1,600. We should do the main keep, shouldn't we? Ugh, but it's gonna make her skint. Her lamp is fine. I'm so poor. I'm so poor now. To the wooden plains. And I always want to oh, what is that? I cannot pronounce that. Immune to hobbled, petrified, and stuck. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hey.
This is not good.
I'm here.
Hey.
Go! It's no use!
So he
Following
doesn't.
your lead.
He doesn't sing when he's using this? Or does he? No, he does. He does. Oh, I'm in all matters of oof. You know what, actually, hold on.
Hey.
Following
Word and rough! We gotta take better care of nuggets.
God damn it, Alof. I'm in an infestation of some sort.
What?
Oh, okay. I was like, what is this? I don't know.
Nuggets for me.
That's for my friends!
Leave it to me.
Oh wait, I should have aimed it down there. I didn't realize he was here. Hold on, can I? Oh, I'll do that instead. No!
Leave it to me.
Alof, it's so squishy! squishy. What happened to him? Severe wound. Great. Awakened wood.
At once.
I am a big kid. Wait, I can now do some more crafting. I'm not quite good at level 3 stuff yet. Oh. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yes?
Maybe in,
Aye?
only in battle it works.
At once.
The areas are lovely. Like, this is nice. I don't feel too ooh, what's this?
Hush, Itumaak.
A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides leans against a road marker, her face turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bow and arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bear figurine between her feet. A large white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at you as you approach.
Easy, Itumaak. It's not him.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Becca, what does this stranger have to do with your friend?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persock. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persock's trail is cold, to say the least.
How long have you been looking for this Persock? I'm sorry, why did it sound like a pair of socks? She's looking for her pair of socks. Her painted brows lower and her compact muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of your people in the Dyler Wood. He died when I was still young. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. So, you've been searching for 5 years for a stranger you barely remember, who could be anyone now. Am I correct?
That about sums it up.
Actually, do you know what? I know how you feel.
Then you have my sympathies. Hopefully you've got a better lead than I do.
Earlier you'd mentioned an unhelpful stranger.
True enough. But first I should explain about the figurine.
She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's carved into a shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished adra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and avoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persock. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel a wisp of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persock, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time it looks just like this.
What will you do now?
I can tell you what I won't do again. Rely on miracle peddlers. It was some so-called watcher who sent me to this crossroads in the middle of nowhere in the first place.
Probably shouldn't tell her I'm a watcher then.
I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
What's the wolf's lair? Defiance Bay, locals call the current Duke, Wolfgren. Sounds like he'd be fun to drink with. Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
May I see the figurine?
Why?
Please?
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
She hands you the figurine, her chap knuckles grazing your hands. She watches you examine it, wary but cautious. Curious and cautious. You raise the Adra bear, turning it in light. As your eyes catch a tiny glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of a beast amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. I'm gonna sniff the breeze. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you are standing, wherever Persok is standing, must be near the ocean, not a lake. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff, then.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
You see, I'm a real watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. If you'd seen the way she stares at dead things, you'd know she's serious.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Persok on the way.
And if this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Okay, more friends. She has a fox. So she's stealthy and survival. Okay. Can I give her 1 in the athletics as well? So she's a ranger just like me, then. Give the resilience. Swift predator sense. Heightens the predatory instincts of the ranger's animal companion, giving them a damage bonus on creatures suffering a damage over time effect. Let's do that. Survival. We'll keep it. More damage from the fox. Okay. We got new friends. So many. Can we can't
Ready,
rearrange them. Oh my
Let's get our
gosh.
Are you sure?
I didn't
How may I help?
know we could
Yes?
rearrange them like this. Does that affect their walking
Indeed.
order? Oh, so much better! So much better to do it that way. Okay. Why didn't I realize this sooner? Oh, what's this? Memorials, benefactor. Is this the Kickstarter? I know this game was made. Yeah. Aw, that's awesome. I'd love to know, if it's just like. I'm hoping these people haven't passed, but I think these are the people who. That's cool. Here lies Firedorn, a bard, a poet. He was also a card, but most didn't know it. A poem he wrote in jest was misread. They also bloods, and now he's dead. Oh dear. That's cool. Talking of dead things. There's a dude here. A forest lurker. Oh, I don't know. Let's go this way. The last time we tried a forest lurker, we died. Another one. Right, let's try it. Okay.
Ready, Watcher.
I'm here.
Hey.
Following your lead.
I?
Brave thou not.
This dude just, I don't know, calls for pain.
Shadow!
Oh, we totally nailed it. We're getting good at this. Totally getting good at this. I'm gonna need all the cash that we can have. I'm getting used to picking up everything as well. This dude, like I said, he just seems to...
Brave thou not.
I think the doggo's already attacking. I think we're already attacking. I just need this guy to do his thing.
Hey. Yes? Kinda stuck over here. I shall deal with this one.
I'm very, very happy with how this is working out.
All right then.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if we can get any further, but We got this.
Brave thou not.
You're not getting through me.
Like this dude here is a bit
Dead on!
I shall deal with this one.
One hit true.
Yes?
Do we get much in terms of experience? Yeah, we do get party experience, so that's okay.
Of course.
Oh, what's up here? So I wonder if this is our full party now, or at least some of it. I'm guessing there must be more companions. I feel like this is quite early on in the game, so...
Brave thou Filad Filim. Moe Ixiana.
Oh, it's dead. They die so quick.
Of course.
Also, another question, really. Is there an auto fight? I'm sure there is. Not that I think I would do an auto fight. But, no, just out of more curiosity, really. Ooh, major regeneration. Wine dregs swirl around the bottom of the clay jar. Ooh, what's this? Right, no, we're all going. We're not just one person, all going. I'm not entirely sure where we're going, but we're all going. We are going to have to hopefully find someone who can sell stuff soon. Stonewall Gorge. I don't think I want to go there just yet. Let's try this way. I'm trying to get to Defiance Bay, so... I feel like this direction's better. Oh, is this like a farmstead? Ooh, hello. Sparrow's nest tucked in between the two angled slats. Okay. I don't want to leave an area without taking away the darkness. What is that? It's a lion! Oh my!
Brave thou Filad Filim.
It stood no chance. Another lion. 2 lions.
Brave thou Filad Filim.
I just need a bear now. Dude, you need to literally stop. No. You need to... This dude... I don't know why he thinks he should be like... upfront and personal here, I think. Oh. Hearth harvest. Okay. Waves are roughly chiseled in the stone. They grasp at Andra's beloved moon like curling fingers. Okay. Now we can get to Aedelwan Bridge. Should we rest? What do you think? Will we be alright? I'm sure. Yeah, we'll be fine. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this woman's soul. You see a lavishly decorated room. Walls hung with tapestries, ordnance oil lamps creating a warm, relaxing atmosphere. There are several overstuffed couches covered with silk pillows and an elegant table in the middle of the floor. The woman is seated at the table, sitting across from another woman. They are both well dressed, their style befitting the room they're in. The other woman's hair is blonde, in stark contrast to this woman's black, and is swept up on her head in a dramatic style. The woman speaks in an easy, free tone, obviously familiar with one another. Though they each seem to be comfortable in each other's company, a strange nervousness surrounds the blonde woman's actions. She occasionally betrays herself with a little giggle or a stammer, hitching over an easy word as she speaks. Her demeanor swings from friendly to shy, and back again with no warning. The woman leans back a little in her chair, stretching lightly. As she finishes her stretch, she gently lays her hand next to the other woman's hand, letting their fingers subtly entwine. The second woman stops speaking mid-sentence, inhales sharply and turns red. She does not, however, move her hand. This woman smiles and moves her hand further over the other, holding it. She then stands, moving around the table towards the blonde woman, whose face shows conflicting emotions of terror and lust. She giggles and pulls her hand out from under the other and brings it to her mouth, the red of her face deepening. This woman stops, looking down at her, eyes sparkling. She reaches out and pulls something from the blonde's hair, letting it fall around her shoulders, and then she leans over, brushing her lips lightly over the blonde woman's cheek, resting her mouth against her ear. As she whispers, her hand moves sleevily down the other woman's body to her waist. The blonde shudders and leans into the hand, eyes closing, cheek pressing against the lips, still whispering at her ear. This woman's hands deftly removes a small bag from the other woman's belt and secretes it under her own cloak at the small of her back. Then she gently kisses the other woman's cheek and stands again, the smile never leaving her mouth. Oh my. Voices from the past seems to call from this man's soul. You see a ship being tossed about in a storm-ravaged sea. The swells rise and fall, carrying the ship with them as if it were a toy. This man stands on the deck at the helm of the ship, while water whips around him. The crew move about frantically, trying to keep the chaos under control. He barks orders at them, pointing where to go and giving each one a task. The men, while still visibly distressed, seem to calm down when they are given their orders. He instructs the helmsman to resume his duties at the wheel and rushes to the aid of the crewman, who is struggling with the rope attached to one of the sails. The ship crests a wave, going almost vertical in one direction, and then immediately again in the other direction. Several of the crew are thrown from their feet, sliding across the deck as the ship rocks. After the swell passes and the ship returns to a relatively normal orientation, the man quickly scans the deck, counting silently. No one has been lost this time. He looks in the direction they're headed, seeing no reprieve from the storm in sight. His jaw squared and his upper lip stiffened. He returns to the helm and takes the wheel again. There's no shortage of game in the wilderness, so there isn't. You need an infinite night. Goose and Fox have the softest beds in the best ale. Oh, this person should have some. Man's soul voices its past. You see a flurry of matted white hair and an incandescent freeze-fire staff before you see the man. Cold and wild, he chews a wizened apple slowly, discharging spell after spell into the jumble of villages screeching their way toward him. Cold flame vents from his nose and apple seeds shoot from the side of his mouth as he saunters forward, ignoring arrows and curses alike. A deliberate twist of his staff and a bullet of force glides through the torso of one assailant and another. Roar blisters his throat as he launches himself into their mists, tearing into their essence with his staff. A pleading hand reaches towards him and quickly falls, ignored. Silence takes hold as the tattered man gathers his prize, a basket of fresh pears. He hums as he eats. That's kind of rude. That is kind of rude. Okay, well, we've reached Defiance Bay. Ooh, this is just a car. Ow, apples and pears. Okay, one of these needs spoken to, I guess.
How do you do?
What can I do for you? What could you tell me about Defiance Bay? Sorry, but I don't have time right now. But it sounds like that Dozen's crackpot Rowan is stirring up trouble again. He jerks his head at the gate. He'd be all too happy to give you a rundown of the city, liberally flavoured with dozens of propaganda, of course. I'm looking for the Temple of Wudika. He scratches his beard. Not sure why you'd want to go there. He shrugs. It's in the first fires if you really want to see it. You seem on edge. What's the problem? Thousands of them, truth be told. We've got refugees coming in from all parts under one misguided notion that things are actually better here. That the legacy somehow passed us over. So they show up with no prospects and little money and just end up making a worse mess of things. He looks you up and down. No offense. Oh, well, goodbye. He grunts. And good luck to you. So it sounds like, it's not good in Defiance Bay either. So this is going to be like our first kind of big city. Nice.
Defiance Bay. The city at the heart of the Deerwoods Revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by White One's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
Okay. Cats.
It used to be a lot less of a mess.
It's a mess. These animancers have brought divine wrath upon us all. And yet the Duke and his toadies in the Crucible Knights do nothing. Can we allow these atrocities to continue unchecked? No! Oh, that's Rowan. Down with animancy!
Well met, friend.
Rowan's arms are crossed and his mouth is set in a grim frown as he watches the gathered protesters. He looks ready for a fight. He sizes you up. New in town, eh? You've picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacies no better here. It's the animancers. Margaret scorched them, and they nest in this city like rats. You mark my words, though. Us dozens are going to put a stop to it. What are you doing out here? He gestures at the crowd, which buzzes with angry chatter. Trying to get the folk to see reason. We're in the midst of a crisis, and instead of purging the Nefari's forces from our city, The Duke is granting Animances dangerous liberties. What do you know about the Animancy? It's the study and manipulation of essence, which any sane person will tell you is the purview of the gods. The Aedelwans at least had the sense to outlaw it, which is the only good thing you can say about them. It's not like magic, chanting, or the soul readings those ciphers do. It's been around since ancient Enwithian times, which is why you'll see Animances tinkering with their old Enwithian artifacts. Kinda raises a fist to cough discreetly into half-truth soul, but he's an enthusiastic performer, I'll give him that. He shakes his head. Trouble is, the Animans has got no idea what half those artifacts actually do. Not that they'll admit it. Our emphatic friend is correct about one thing, at least. Tell me about the dozens. He taps his chest. We're an organization of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of the Animances, the tyranny of the aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are a little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days. Yeah, just like the militia, dozens, except for the training and the discipline and code of honor. His eyes gleam. And we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better the state of the country. You have any interest in hearing more? Stop by Atmeth's den sometimes. The expedition hall. A lot of freethinkers in there and can get straight all nonsense the nobles and the Animances want you to believe. Might even be some paid work there for the motivated types. I'd like to know more about Defiance Bay. Oh, this is the capital of the Free Palatinate of Direwood. We started out as a capital of a Endirian colony, but we booted the flaccid scepter from the lands 150 years ago. These days, we're a major port, receiving trade and visitors from all over the world. But we, some of us, anyway, strive to hold on to the pioneering spirit that earned us our freedom a century and a half ago. The city is divided into 5 districts: Copperlane, First Fires, Ondra's Gift, the Brackenbury, and Heritage Hill. He ticks off each on the callous finger. Tell me about the Copperlane. This here is the Copperlane. He taps his scuffed boots on the cobblestones. It's primarily a market district, but you've got also the expedition hall directly north of here, where you can join treks into the wilds. That's also where my fellow dozen martyrs and I tend to meet up with the other concerned citizens. He points to a long domed building west and north of your position. And that's the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Eerie place, you ask me, but they've got the biggest library in all of Direwood. Kinda lost. Eerie indeed. It might be less so if more kith stepped inside. Perhaps we ought to visit Titania von Shire and see just what mysteries are revealed. Tell me about Brackenbury. The noise of disgust rattled his throat. The nobility that didn't sail back to Adair stayed there. Most of the families there trace their lineage back to the old imperial times. Other than a lot of has-been nobility, you've got the Hadret House, where Lady Webb and her spies operate, and Brackenbury Sanitarium, the main cesspit of animancy in the city. He spits on the cobblestones. Okay, well tell me about First Fires. That's where the revolution started, hence the name. These days it's overrun with politicians and panderers, but we'll take it back someday. And that's where you'll find the Ducal Palace, the Velian Embassy, the Crucible Keep. He shakes his head. The Crucible Knights were the original freedom fighters in Defiance Bay, but now they're just strutting peacocks with their eyes on fancy titles and their heads up their asses. Oh yeah, and there's an old temple of Wadika there too. We keep it real nice for her, he winks. Tell me about Odara's gift. Got the name because it was a wetland that was drained back in the Imperial days. Now it's a seedy district populated with sailors, common folk, and more than a few thugs, but It's a fun place, too, if you know where to look. He winks and elbows you. Look for a place called the Salty Mast when you're there. Other than that, it's mostly warehouses and abandoned homes. Tell me about Heritage Hill. He shivers. Oh, it used to be one of the more prestigious districts in the city. Heroes of the Revolution claimed plots up there, next to the ancient Enwithian Tower and the city cemetery. Had the best views of Defiance Bay, no ask, but it attracts the richer types these days. A lot of animancy patrons, he spits. He glances at the crowd and lowers his voice. You wouldn't have heard, but something happened over there a couple of months ago. The authorities sealed it off, and they're keeping their mouths shut, but mark my words, animancy's to blame. Never mind. Well, shall we talk about something else? Oh no, there's nothing else to know. Thank you for your time. Okay. Lot of protesters. Got it. Look at that, though. Defiance Bay seems like a lovely place. What's this place? Oh. Goose and Fox. That's... okay, the inn is a good place to get knowledge, right? Okay. This man's soul voices from its past. You see a fire burning slowly on the side of a winding road. Unmanned, there seems to be no fuel, no wood or oil for it to consume, no hay or twigs. Despite this, it roars, crackles, wails in the wind. It takes you a moment, but you begin to notice a figure in the flames. His shaking hands cradle a young face, molten red tears marring skin the color of coal. The boy cowers, flame coating him as he holds his knees to his chest. In the distance, a man approaches the faceless. He extends a hand to the frightened child, who considers it warily before taking it. The flames die down, leaving his limbs and settling on his head like an obedient pet. All tears dried, they walk together, fire and death, hand in hand. Okay, another one. You see a wizard playing illusions in the town square, fingers plucking colour and sound from the air and weaving scenes of beauty and fright. A crowd of onlookers gasp and cheer, enthralled with the display. All but one boy, standing off to the side, mouth agape, green eyes are pale with wonder, vision after vision playing out before him, and something inside the boy clicks. Without warning, he bolts, disappearing into the crowd and pushing and shoving desperately. The mage finishes his show soon after, and the giant silver dragon descending through the crowd in 1,000 stars, exploding into nothingness. Collecting coins, he walks around the clapping crowd, bowing and nodding at each as he passes, until a small sack is dropped into his hands. The boy stands for a moment before him, small and still, and begs the wizard to apprentice him. He glances at the hefty bag, weighing it, and the boy, carefully. Finally, he nods and flicks gently at the bag, which disappears. The boy grins. "How'd you do that?" he asks, but the illusionist merely winks. There was an actress there. Lupetite Silverrun. You see an impressive gathering of wild Orlands in ceremonial dress, shaded by cups of ancient oak. Underneath the largest oak stands 2 young Orlands, hands clasped, eyes clear as they promise to care for and love one another in the joining of their clans. An older Orland steps towards them to speak, beard seeming to sprout from directly underneath his eyes, and declares their union complete. The jubilant Orland clans carry the newly wedded couple away to their tent with snorts of laughter and crude jokes, leaving the older Orland to sit alone beneath an age-old oak. He sighs, observing the scene in the distance. He whispers a quiet benediction, glad for their gladness, and melts into the tree without another word. He has seen enough happiness for one day. Okay. Miserable bastard. A woman sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a small metallic rattle. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. This is not a good time. What are you doing here? She takes a long drink from her glass. Just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. Alas, Kinara looks up at you. Lamplight falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé, Persnix. Only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends. And they're not exactly pleasant company. Who hit you? She shakes her head. I know how this looks, but you don't understand. It's not like Persnix. It's these new friends of his. They've brought out the worst in him. Tell me about these friends. They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. Now, I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Persnix makes me leave when they show up, but it's obvious what they're come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the gift. But not under my roof, you know? She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Sveth changes you, I guess. The Persnix I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider. Never thought he'd... She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discolored flesh. But Sveth makes people calm and listless. It shouldn't make them violent. I don't really know. Seemed better than believing he's always been this way. Maybe I could talk to him? Her hand rests on the table and she clenches it into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just want to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand and a ring clatters onto the table. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to set it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper, and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. She points to her bruise. I wouldn't normally hand this off to a stranger, but people say you've got a good heart. If you give this back to him, he'll know we're done. I'll take this ring back to Persnix, then. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Just please don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. Can't guarantee he won't come away a little scathed. No one should raise their hand to another being. It's a really nice... Like, this is a nice place. Okay, another voice from the past. You see a mud-soaked clearing. Rain falling to the ground in large drops. This man is lying on his back in the muck, his hands holding open the maw of an enormous stegla that stands over him. Its front paws on his chest. The heavy rain falls over them, playing counterpoint to the grunts made by the opponents. Dead Stelagia litter the ground around him, and the man's body shows signs of a difficult battle. His clothing is torn, hanging as scraps in some places. Bites and scratches cover his arms and legs, and a huge gash cuts across his forehead, blood and water mixing as they run down his face and drip into the mud. It takes all the man's efforts to keep the beast's jaw from clamping down. The man looks around wildly until his gaze finally lands on a large axe lying barely within arm's reach behind his head, the rain slowly covering it with grime and muddy water. He looks at the Stelagar and then back at his axe, grim determination on his face. His arms are shaking, and it seems he will not be able to hold the beast back for much longer. He takes a deep breath and wraps his right hand around the Stelagar's bottom jaw, and then lets go with his left hand, freeing the top of its head. The Stelagar's mouth snaps shut on his right hand as his left shoots out above his head and grabs the handle of the axe. The Stelgiar grinds its teeth and pulls back, trying to free itself from his grip, blood dripping from its mouth into his face. With a grunt that quickly becomes a bellow of pain, the man pulls his right hand down, bringing the beast's head closer to him, swinging the axe around as he does. The blade of the weapon pierces the Stelgiar's neck, and it yelps, its mouth popping open as it tries to step backwards off the man. Before his mangled hand can lose its grip, the man pulls and twists as hard as he can, trying to get the beast on the ground, using the Stelgar's resistance to pull himself into a sitting position. He brings the axe down on his neck again and again, one final time as its head and his hand simultaneously comes free. The head flies from his grip as he thrusts his hand behind his back to brace himself as he falls. As his hand hits the ground and his full weight lands on it, a second bellow of pain erupts from his mouth. Breathing heavily, he brings his now mangled hand up to assess the damage. The little finger is gone, lost somewhere in the mud. The two fingers next to it are twisted, broken and torn, and barely attached to his hand by the small bits of flesh. He sighs, grabbing both dangling fingers with his left hand. He grits his teeth and pulls. Ouch! Ouch! Oh, that one's the worst. Ouch. Ouch.
Hello.
The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Orma. A handle protrudes from his back and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns it in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. This is a lively place. It was founded in the early days of Direwooden independence by a travelling scholar named Errol of Levi. He wanted a place where kith of all backgrounds could gather and hash out their issues facing their new country. He rests his elbow on the polished wood of the bar. It didn't take long for the place to fill up. Blackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from the Gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Direwoodians have never been known to turn down an argument. He takes a sip from the tiny cup. What happened next? Soon, kith were coming from the farms and settlements too. He waves at the door as if expecting a crowd to bustle in. This place got even more popular with the Valian sailors than the salty mast, and that was a problem. He drains his cup. No matter what people say about the fair-mindedness of civil debate, there's only so much people will tolerate. Errol found himself on the wrong side of an argument with the wrong Faen, and when he disappeared a few days later, some said it was the work of that Faen. He shrugs, spreading his hands over the bar as he surveys the room. But Errol knew which way the wind was blowing, if you ask me. He skipped town, hid out somewhere, hoping for rational minds to prevail in Defiance Bay. He cracks you a weary grin. If only he could see it now. Tell me about yourself. Name's Bishop. Used to be a scholar at Barath. Now I run the Goose and Fox, and I keep the regulars in line. He shifts and you see a warhammer strapped to his back. What more is there to tell? How'd you go from religion to taverns? Journey isn't as long as you'd think. So with the Hollowborn, and with this, he takes a black bottle from under the bar and fills the pewter cup. It was my sister's son. He takes a drink. At the beginning of the Waidwin's legacy, he was one of the first. Never expected there would be so many after him. Tragedy is part of the cycle, but it's followed by rebirth. Yet every year, more parents were grieving for their Hollowborn children, and the gods were silent. So you lost your faith? He leans forward, crossing his arms on the bar. Barath promises rebirth, cycled, but the only cycle I found was this one. He taps the bar. Have a drink, have another, and another, until I couldn't remember how I got home. Wake up, come back. Finally woke up one day to see my family had packed up and left, and for all I know, they'd left days before, and I just hadn't noticed. But they were gone, so I came here. I've cleaned up since then, not that I've found my answers. Tosses the cup back. I just stopped asking the questions. I'd like to get a room. I'll show you what I've got. We've got the money. Let's... Ooh, that one's No, we'll go for perception.